Hello, everybody. All right, everybody. Today we're going to discuss a portion of the Red Pill movie by Cassie J when she interviews this feminist who I wholeheartedly disagree with what she's about to say. Now, I'm going to let her say it and then I will respond. But before we get started, my name is Joshua Dearden. My YouTube is Dearden2007, and I stand for men's mental health because men's mental health matters too. And let me give you a preview. That's my logo. This is what I stand for. I stand for men's mental health matters too. Now, we're going to let the feminists talk, and then I'll do some more plug-in later. And we will intersect. We will dissect each portion of this video that I disagree with, one piece at a time.
Good. Sure that we have that side. Good. Before I was researching rape culture, and so that's how.
It's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk with. Where'd she go? Thought I had it. There we go.
Began to make gains, and some men have felt threatened. Its movement is part of the backlash.
The backlash
to feminism. The men's rights movement really got going as women began to make gains, and some men have felt threatened by the opportunities that have been opened up to women. And I don't know if it's because some of them feel threatened that they now have to compete with a lot more people for their jobs. They now can't get into the best schools if a woman or a girl has better grades. Think about it. Grandfather's generation probably had it pretty well, right? All of his needs, his shirts were ironed, all of that was always taken care of. Well, grow up. Realize the world has changed. And as much as the MRAs would like things to go back to the way they were, and use the argument that women have an advantage now, no person looking at the data can possibly say women have an advantage. We're just beginning to get a level playing field here. It's not tilted in our favor, I can tell you that. And they know it. They know it. But it's the constant distortion of the data. It's the spinning of a situation to make it look like women are somehow getting ahead, getting an advantage they don't deserve. It's part of the backlash.
Political organizing.
Okay. Now, I let the woman speak. I didn't interject like I did my last response video. I did not interrupt. I wanted to let her speak. Now, this is Cassie J. She's a wonderful director. I love the movie she filmed. The Red Pill is a wonderful movie. I suggest you go watch it. This is a piece of the pie. And we're going to dissect everything she just said. Now, for her to say that nobody looking at the data. Here, let me make sure I'm quoting her correctly.
Advantage. We're just beginning to get an even rights movement as part of the backlash.
Okay.
the backlash.
She thinks it's because of the backlash of feminism. Let me be clear. Only a small portion of men in America are advantaged. Okay? About 80 to 90% of men have no advantages in the world. We're all broke. We're all struggling. We're all living paycheck to paycheck. There is no superiority with 80 to 90% of men. In fact, 80 to 90% of men are deemed unworthy for dating. Women look at 80 to 90% of men as not an option. Women are chasing the top 10 to 20% of men, and there's only about maybe the top 10% of men who are advantaged in America today. That's it. About 80 to 90% of men are disadvantaged. Okay? Now, I'll let Jordan Peterson tell you why here in a minute, but we're going to dissect each one of these situations. No, you know what? I'm going to play it now. I'm not going to wait. I just said it.
So that's my idea of the patriarchy, which is a system of male dominance of society.
Yeah, but that's not my sense of the patriarchy.
So what's yours?
Well, in what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labour.
A very tiny proportion of men, and a huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. It's like, where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate.
But I could say equally well that most rape victims are women. Terrible things happen to people of both sexes.
And you could say that with perfect utility, but that doesn't provide any evidence for the existence of a male-dominated patriarchy.
Well,
it just means that terrible things happen to both genders, which they certainly do.
But there are almost no women who rape men, for example.
Okay, that's a lie. That is a lie, what she just said. I have seen lately far more female teachers being predatory against teenage young boys. Okay? That is called statutory sexual assault. I can't use the R word, but statutory SA, statutory R word is what it is. I've seen far more female teachers going after minor boys than I've seen male teachers going after minor girls. So to say that there's absolutely no female sexual assaulting young boys, that's a lie. That is a clear lie. So Jordan Peterson just divulged the fact that what I said was true. About 80 to 90% of men are disadvantaged in America today. Point, check, mate.
To feminism. The men's rights movement really got going as women began to make gains, and some men have felt
Okay.
threatened.
She thinks that men felt threatened. Okay. Some people were dumb enough to feel threatened that women wanted a fair shot. Women wanted fair everything. They wanted equal everything. I'm here to tell you, most of us men's rights activists could care less about having any hatred or bias or prejudice against anybody, regardless of sex, gender, age, whatever. We are all for a fair shot. For anybody, for everybody having a fair shot. There's a difference between equality of opportunity and an equality of outcome. Okay, everybody in America today, or in the last 100 years, has had equality of opportunity. Yes, there's been disadvantaged people in all races that have struggled because they were held down or held back for some terrible reasons. But in America today, in 2024, everybody should be looking for equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. Quality of outcome assumes that everybody, regardless of whether you tried hard or not, you achieve what you're going for. No. Equality of opportunity allows everyone who puts in the work and fights for what they want and does the time, the education, the work to achieve it. Equality of outcome is BS in nature, and I don't stand for it. I think everybody should have equality of opportunity. Now, employers have this bad habit of treating people as though our education, our qualifications, and our history of employment doesn't seem to matter to anybody. It doesn't help us in any way. Because what I've learned over the years, it's not what you know. It hasn't been that way for a very long time. It's who you know. Men don't have a whole lot of people we know that can help us get up there to achieve what we want to achieve. Women, due to affirmative action, have received advantage in employment practices because women get priority in college admissions, applications, and they have lowered the standards for police, fire, military, and other jobs to allow women to balance what they cannot do. Like, for instance, they have to do less push-ups, less pull-ups. They get bonus time in the mile they run. They don't have to carry as much weight. I'm not for that. If you can't do what the qualifications call for, you shouldn't get the position. Just like if I wanted to go play pro ball and I can't keep up with the exercise, the I don't have the history, I don't have the experience, I don't have all that, then I don't play. If I want to be a firefighter and I can't do the workouts, the hard, intensive labor that it goes for because I'm too lazy and too fat, I don't get to be a firefighter. If I can't run a mile in the time required by military, police, and other standards, I don't get the job. Women should not be given an advantage of bonus time to run that mile. For instance, I remember that women have to run the mile in under 13 minutes in most military, police, and others. Men have to run the mile in under 9 minutes. Okay? Now, what is that? That's 5? No, 9. That's 4. Women get an additional 4 minutes to run the mile. That's not okay. Women wanted equality. They didn't want advantages. That's not what they didn't picket the streets and say, we want advantages. No. What did they ask for? All these years, they fought for equality. They didn't fight for advantages, but that's what they got. That's what they fought for. They didn't fight for equality. Now, let me be clear. Men and women will never be the same. First of all, boys have... I'm going to play it. Because it makes me laugh every time I see it.
Just wait here a minute.
Hold on. We'll let the most smartest child on the planet. Should have been a short. There we go. The smartest boy on the planet.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Need we say more? Jesus. I can't believe we have to divulge into that situation, but that's what it's become. Oh, I closed my old window.
Something, and you don't know.
It's the constant distortion of the data. It's the spinning of men's rights movement really got going as women began to make gains. And some men have felt threatened by the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, that's where I kind of spaced off on that topic. Okay. Nobody in the entire history of men and women in a competitive nature have ever felt threatened about feminism or women in general. No. 99% of MRAs and men in general, we adore, cherish, love, and admire women. We want women to be mothers. We want women to raise our children. We want women in our lives. We love women. Okay? Now, if you don't want to raise a child, you don't have to be a mother. We just won't date you. The red pill movement cares more about destroying the hatred for men that feminism has brought into society. I'm so sick of hearing feminists say that men are misandrous or misogynistic, that feminism has overwhelmingly made the assumption that men are misogynistic towards women. Well, I'm sorry to say, but the data proves otherwise. There are far more women being misandrist against men. If you don't know that statement, misandry is the hatred, contempt for, bias, and prejudice against men. What's the opposite of that? Misogyny. The hatred, contempt for, bias, and prejudice against women. I know so many people who will agree with me that there is far more misandry, hatred for men, than there is hatred for women. No, I don't hate women. I love, cherish, and adore women. What I don't cherish, what I don't adore, what I don't agree with are the women who sit here and play victim mentality games and assume that men somehow have an issue with women fighting for what they want. No, if you don't want to be a mother, if you don't want to be in the kitchen, if you don't want to raise children, if you don't want to get married, if you want to prefer work over family, that's fine. You can grow up to be a cat lady. And when you're 80, 90, and alone, and you don't have any grandkids or anybody in the house, and all you have is cats in the home, and you're lonely, I mean, look at all the women nowadays claiming that... Here. let's just play it for you, okay? I mean, we got women in their 40s. I mean, here, I won't even play the video. Where are all the good men? These are women in their 40s crying, saying, where all the men goes. I ruined everything. Where all the good men? I need help dating. These are women in their 40s crying because they spent their 20s, 30s, and 40s, or sorry, their 20s and 30s prioritizing the bag, the money, the purse, the materialistic items, looking for Chads and Tyrones, making their jobs a priority instead of prioritizing family. I'm sorry to say, but biology and logics will tell you that women have a ticking time clock. They have a time clock. They have, if they want children, their best years of successful child bearing, where the child comes out healthy with very little chances of any diseases or abnormalities, is to have the child between the ages of 18 and 26. What are women doing nowadays? They're prioritizing those years for their career, to get the bag, to get the money. They don't want to have family. They want to go out and have fun and travel and do all those crazy things that have nothing to do with getting them where they want to be. Now, if they don't ever want to have a child, that's fine. But when you wait until your 40s to have a child, your chances of having unhealthy pregnancies goes way high. It just increasingly I think I'm frozen. There we go. Your chances of having unhealthy pregnancies increase exponentially after the age of 26. I've done the research. It shows that the risk of pregnancy goes up overwhelmingly past the age of 26. Anytime you have a baby past the age of 35, that's when you have I think it's called geriatric pregnancies. I think that's the term. Don't misquote me. I misquoted myself. If it sounds wrong, tell me in the comments. But I believe you have geriatric pregnancies past the age of 35. The risk of pregnancy is way too high. No man in the MRA movement or any man alive today is threatened by feminism. What we are frustrated by is the fact that women have this knack, this ideal for grouping all men into this category of being misogynistic, hating women, sexual assault perpetrators and domestic violence perpetrators. Let's be clear. 80% of all domestic violence is perpetrated by women. What does that mean? That means 80% of all domestic violence is perpetrated, as in the woman hit first. And it doesn't even have to be violence, because women claim that emotional is domestic violence. Women claim that financial is domestic violence. All right? So if we're going off the mindset that domestic violence can be emotional, financial, forms of threats and other things, look at the Wheel of Power and Control. They call it the Duluth model, that was designed by a group of feminists in Duluth, Minnesota. It's called the Duluth model. And in every pie chart, in every pie chart of this wheel, it is clearly geared as women being the victims of everything and not one pie on this chart. You know what? Instead of talking about it, let me just show it to you. Let's just bring the puppy up. All right? Let's just bring this bad boy up. Let's just show you. Duluth. I'm probably spelling it wrong. Duluth model. There it is. DU. All right. So let's bring this up. There it is. All right. So we're going to bring this up. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to zoom in here. Now, in every single pie of this chart, it is geared towards showing that men are the only perpetrators of domestic violence. Judges, lawyers, cops, attorneys, domestic violence, counselors, and custody and divorce hearings use this to date that was forced into the courts by feminists. Now, let's start at the top. Using coercion and threats. Making and or carrying out threats to do something to hurt her. Okay, there's nowhere in that says her doing it to him. That's sexist. This thing is sexist. It is not including the male victims of domestic violence. All right? Threatening to leave her. What about when women threaten to leave him? Isn't that domestic violence? To commit suicide. Oh, God. I know how many women. There's so many women I've dated that have done that. Is that domestic violence? Okay. To report her to welfare. Making her drop charges. Making her do illegal things. Okay, women do that too. Using intimidation. Making her afraid by using looks, action. So you look at a woman and she's afraid? Okay. That's stupid. Looks, action, gestures, smashing things, destroying her property, abusing pets, and displaying weapons. Okay. Well, I've had multiple women destroy my property in past relationships, have crazy looks in my direction, actions and gestures, abusing pets. Well, they've never done that. I haven't had pets until now, but was the fact that women did that to me, was that domestic violence? Let's fight fair. Using emotional abuse, putting her down, making her feel bad about herself, calling her names, making her think she's crazy, playing mind games, humiliating her, and making her feel guilty. Okay, well, no women that do that. Using isolation, right here. I'll put the arrow on the pie that we're on. Using isolation, controlling what she does, who she sees and talks to, and what she reads, where she goes, limiting her outside involvement, using jealousy to justify her actions. Okay, well, if it's wrong for a man to control what his woman does, why is it perfectly acceptable for a woman to control what her man does? Sounds like power and control, where a woman is trying to control the scenario, what he does and who he hangs out with. If it's wrong for him to do it, should it also be wrong for her to do it? Answer that in the comments. Minimizing, denying, and blaming is the next one. Making light of the abuse and not taking her concerns about it seriously. Saying abuse didn't happen. Shifting responsibility to abusive behavior. saying she caused it. Okay. That's interesting. Because I have been hit with a hammer, hit with a baseball bat, a wooden one, a metal bat. I've been hit with liquor bottles. I've been stabbed. I've been shot at. I've been ran over with... Yeah. I've been stabbed in my side. Okay. And the part where it says... shifting responsibility for abusive behavior, saying she caused it. All right. Well, that's interesting. Because just about every ex that ever was upset at me blamed me for her abusive behavior. Blamed me for her psychotic rage, saying it was all my fault. Okay. Saying that what she did never happened. So, I'm sorry to say that the fact that this is being used in the courts today is clear, inherent bias, because men are also victims of domestic violence. But nowhere in this does it say she did it to him. It's all her. Every part is her. All right, let's go on to the next one. Because nowhere does it say he's a victim also. Using children, making her feel guilty about the children, using the children to relay messages, using visitation to harass her, threatening to take away the children away. I'm here to tell you there are thousands of men that will stand beside me on this and agree. There are more women fighting to take away the children from men because men can't take the children away from a woman. Not with the biased, inherent bias and disgusting practices of courts today. Women do that more. Next. Using male privilege, treating her like a servant, making all the big decisions, acting like the master of the castle, being the one to define men's and women's roles. Okay. That is awesome that is on here. Let's talk about that. Let's analyze that. Okay? One piece at a time. Treating her like a servant. Okay? I don't agree with that. I think that a man shouldn't make his woman feel that she has to do anything. No. I'm here to tell you, I probably used to be that way. I don't think I ever treated any woman that way. But I might have had that mindset when I was a teenager, that I was told that a woman is supposed to be in the kitchen or whatever. No. The way I've changed since my teenage years to now is I was a simp. But I would have done anything to try and keep the woman in my life. Even if it meant doing crazy things to do it. Like, you must do this. No. I never did that with my wife. I never did that with any ex. What I have changed in my life is now I am all for a woman doing whatever she wants to do. If she wants to go out and fuck other men, do you, boo? If she wants to go to a club and party and drink and accept free drinks and grind on other men, I'm all for it. She has every right to do whatever she wants. If she doesn't want to cook, I don't care. I cook. If she doesn't want to add anything to my life, add anything to the relationship, she don't have to. She doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to do. She can go on girls' trips if she wants to. Even when I tell her I don't want her to do that, she can do it. I can't stop her, and I won't stop her. But here's where all my allowances stop. Like I said, I'm not controlling her. She can do whatever she wants. But if she hears me say, I don't like this and I don't want you to do it, if we're in a relationship, you cannot act single. The moment our relationship goes from non-existent to established boyfriend and girlfriend or wifey and husband, whatever, the moment that starts, the partying, the drinking, the fucking around, all that stops. You can do whatever you want as a female. I can't control what a woman does. I can't force a woman to do what I want them to do. What I can do is tell them that what I like and what I am not going to stand for in my life. And if she can't respect it, I'm not going to control her actions. I'm not going to tell her what she wants to, what she can and can't do. But I'll tell you what, if I tell her, I'm not comfortable with you going to a singles bar without me, I'm not comfortable with you going to a party where other men are trying to buy you drinks and have sex with you, whether you accept it or not. If I tell you I'm not comfortable with that and you go anyways, I'm not mad at you. But what I will do is I will take your shit and I will throw it out on the curb. Because respect for me is the same as you respecting yourself. You have to respect yourself and the relationship. If you're not adding to the relationship, if you can't respect my wishes, then you can't have my name, my life, or live in my dwelling with me. So, I'm not controlling a woman if she wants to do whatever she wants to do. If she wants to continue to act single, she can stay single. I will not fight to keep someone in my life who wants to leave. I will not fight to keep someone in my life who cannot respect my boundaries, who cannot respect my wishes. Period. Next, and that was the servant thing, okay? She doesn't have to do what I tell her to do, but she does have to respect me as much as she wants me to respect her. The next one on this is acting like the master of the castle. Okay. I'm so glad that is on the pie chart, because any documented evidence, any video you will ever see, when a woman is control of everything, when a woman wears the pants in the relationship, she loses love, admiration, and respect for that man. She will lose all sexual interest in that man. If women do not allow their men to run the castle, she will lose respect for that man. Now, I know there's going to be some women who say that's not true. I run everything in my relationship. I don't care what you have to say. The majority of women will tell you they want their man to lead. They want the man that they are with to control the lead. And control is maybe a strong word, but what they want is they want the man to lead the relationship. They want the man to make the decisions. They want the man to make the final decision. Period. And if you have an argument with that, say so in the comments. But ask any woman. She will say, most women will tell you they want the man they are dating to lead the relationship. Period. That's not abuse. That is a sexual attractive feature that men bring, because if a man is submissive to a woman, she will undoubtedly Maybe not immediately, but over time she will lose sexual attraction for that man. Period. There's no arguing that. That is a fact. That is a biological fact. Period. Check. Mate. Period. The last on that pie says being the one to define men's and women's roles. Okay, I believe that the role is defined in history, that the man works, the man protects, the man provides, the man provides house, home, car, shoes, clothing, anything the woman and children need. That has been, since the dawn of time, the role of men. Okay? And women still to this day require the man to have their role, or she will lose interest for him. But all of a sudden, the fact that men want their women to be in the home, taking care of the kids, cooking dinner, and keeping the house, now there's some form of contention that men want women to uphold their roles? Sorry, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you're asking for equality, which is allowing men to decide when their role, because what you're doing is you're choosing to play the role as the woman, the wife, only when it benefits you, not when it benefits the family, not when it benefits the man. If it doesn't benefit women, feminism and women don't want it. There are some good women who know that that's what they should do. But the ones that don't, the feminists, they believe that they can be selectively submissive when it benefits them. Only when it benefits them. Last but not least, using economic abuse. Let me move the mouse. We're here. Using economic abuse. Preventing her from getting or keeping a job. Okay, well, let's be clear. Nowadays, most men are making anywhere from 40 to 60K. That is the median household income in America for men. Okay? Now, most middle class men who are surviving on their own get into a relationship, there's nothing wrong with a man asking his wife, who has a job, to input 50% of the bills into the relationship. 50-50. Ask any median household and ask them. They will all, maybe not all, because feminists will tell you everything should be my money, whatever. Man's money is my money, and my money is my money. That's how feminists act. Okay? But most middle class families will tell you, you cannot do it on one income. You cannot survive on just one income. Now, the ones that do, they're thriving, they're doing a good job, I'm proud of you, but it's smarter to split everything down the middle. It just is. Now, I don't think I've ever dealt with a scenario where I've seen or heard of any man preventing their wife from getting a job. If they want a job, they can. But if you have a child who is still a baby and you're raising that child, I think the father has every right to say, I don't want my child being raised by a babysitter, by a daycare center. A woman can choose to go to work whether he wants her to or not. She has the God-given right to do whatever she wants. But it's not an abusive situation to suggest that, especially if you, before you have kids, you establish that if we're going to have this child, you're going to raise it. You're going to be in the home. And if she agreed to it and she stays in the relationship complaining about it, communication is key. There's a difference between control, power, and abuse. There's a big difference on that. Okay. Next, making her ask for money. Okay. Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Here, let me pull up a calculator. Let's make it simple. I'm going to play dumb here. Alright. I'm going to pull up a calculator. We're going to do it. Let's make it simple. I guess I can't bring it into the window. Anyways. Yeah, we'll just do this. Online calculator. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's say that the yearly income for the husband and the family is minimal. Okay, very minimal. Let's say $40,000. Okay? Now, let's say the mortgage is $1,000 a month. Okay? $1,000 a month. Alright, so 12 months minus $1,000 a month. Minus, let's say the electric will be generous. Let's say it's $150 a month. Okay, let me calculate this. I know there's going to be some months where the electric is higher and lower, but we'll just say 150 times 12. All right, so that's $1,800. Okay. All right, so now we all need cell phones in the household. Nowadays, everybody has a cell phone. Okay, so let's say that me and my wife, we have a cell phone plan. Okay, so say it's, let's go 150, same thing, another $1,800 for cell phones for the year. All right, now we need gas, our gas bill. Let's just call it another $1,800. We're probably overdoing it because gas usually isn't $150 a month, depending on how big the house is. Okay? Now, most people want Wi-Fi in their household. I think I pay around $120. So 120 times 12, that's $1,440. Okay? Now, let's say we're financing a vehicle. Let's say we have one vehicle. Okay? We're starting out, we're having our first child, we have one car, and we're financing it. Okay? Let's say the car is, nowadays, we're going to talk about nowadays. Let's say the car is $400 times 12. Making $400 payments every month. That's $4,800. Okay? Now we need insurance. We'll be simple and we'll call it $100 a month. For insurance, let's say we have really good credit, really good FICO score, let's call it $1,200 because we're paying $100 a month for insurance. Okay? Reasonable. Okay, we got to put gas in that car. So let's say we put about $50 a month. Or sorry. Let's say we fill it up 50 times $50 a week times 4 times 12. Okay? So we spend $2,400 a year on putting gas in our car. And that's probably overdoing it. I'm just being wise. $50 a week times 4 is $200. 200 times 12 is $2,400. Now, let's say we spend about $200 every 2 weeks for groceries. That's underdoing it because I know we spend a lot more. But let's call it $300 a week times 2 times 12. Okay? In a year, we spend $7,200 on groceries. Okay, so far we have paid for our mortgage, I didn't include insurance. Homeowners insurance. Well, we're renting. We don't need that. So let's say we spend $100 a month for renters insurance. Okay? We haven't bought our home yet. All right. So, and now renters insurance ain't $100 a month. I think it's like $20. I remember I was paying $20. 20 times 12. So $240. Okay? Alright, so our rent, our renter's insurance, our car, our cell phone, our groceries. Okay, so we have our child diapers. Okay, let's say we spend about $300 a month in child expenses. Now, that's probably overdoing it, but we'll go with, I think that's right, 300 times 12. All right, where are we? All right. So we have $1,700 left. This is all the stuff, the basic stuff we need. Now, $40,000 doesn't include all the taxes that come out of that check. So it would be less than this. Okay? So, to say in that Wheel of Power and Control that a woman has to ask for money, if he is paying all the bills and she wants to go shopping and buy all this other stuff that we really can't afford, now if she's being smart with the money, he would give it to her. I'm not saying women aren't smart with money. I think the women I've dated have been better with money than I have. But this is just the point I'm trying to make. You cannot spend You cannot spend what you can't afford. This is $40,000. And I was being a little overbearing with the numbers, trying to be over rather than short. These are the basics at a $40,000 salary, and that is not including the taxes that come out. So it'd probably be like $34,000, $35,000, maybe $36,000 after taxes. Then you have to file taxes at the end of the year, so that's more money. The point is, that's one income. That is one income of $40,000. At $80,000, you guys could do whatever you guys could eat out every day. He pays all the bills, you pay for the food. But the point I'm trying to make is you got to be careful with the money. And if she wants to go buy fancy clothes and shoes and purses and handbags and vacations and all sorts of things, it can't be done. Not on one income. That's why two incomes are very important. So we'll go back to what she was saying. Again, no MRA, no man on the planet is threatened by feminism. No man on any platform is upset that women want an equal shot. What we have a problem with is that women are demanding special privileges, special advantages, and they're getting it. At the same time, while women have far more privileges and advantages than men do, they're claiming they're somehow victims. I don't agree with that.
That have been opened up to women. And I don't know if it's because some of them feel threatened that they now have to compete with a lot more people for their jobs.
Okay, let's dive into that. The affirmative action. This might be true that men have to compete because, well, let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Most men won't even get a seat at the table to even interview or have a job because women are being shifted to the top of the job applications and college admissions just by being female. They're getting special privileged advantage in job admissions, college admissions, everything, just based on their gender solely. So I would agree on what she just said, that men are having to fight to get what, I mean, most men are struggling to even pay their bills because based on our gender, being a man, they don't want us to meet the affirmative action. Women and people of color get priority over any. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. Being a man of all colors, you're at the bottom of the bag, bottom of the file cabinet. You get far less opportunities in jobs and college admissions than women do. These are just small things that I have listed so far to prove that this lady is full of it in saying that men are not disadvantaged. And she's full of it. Because men are, by all definitions, disadvantaged in America today. Period.
They now can't get into the best schools if a woman or a girl has better grades.
Okay. I will agree with that. If someone has better grades and get in, set, and stay. Good boy. I have to watch him. He likes to chew on things. Okay. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. If you have better grades than me, you should get into school first before me. You should get in a job better than me. If you have better academics and better references and job experience, you should have the job before men. But that's not the way it is. It's not because women are smarter. It's not because women have better grades. It's simply because of your gender that you have priority of most applications. And Candace Owens and an African-American girl, there's two African-American girls, Candace Owens and another man on Dr. Phil, went on and they discussed how whites and Asians are discriminated far more in college admissions than all other races. And women and people of color have advantages into getting into college and being accepted in academia.
think about it, grandfather's generation probably had it pretty well, right? All of his needs, his shirts were ironed, all of that was always taken care of. Well, you know, grow up, realize the world has changed. And as much as the MRAs would like things to go back to the way they were,
Okay. Yes, I would agree that most of us men would like it to go back to the way it was, because we had better families. I believe our neighbors were nicer back then. I believe a lot of things in history was better. Not just the fact that women were in the kitchen and women were taking care of the kids in the house while the man worked. I will tell you, most men are okay. We're not threatened by the fact that women want to work. If you don't want to raise a family, you're not affecting us who do want to have families, because we will eventually find a woman who wants to raise a family with us. You as a woman not wanting to raise kids doesn't affect us. You have every right to be a cat lady and never raise a child, and be affected at it when you're in your 40s and 50s. In. Sit. If you want to stay out, sit. Lay down. What did I tell you about biting the cat? Lay down. He was biting the cat. Hold on. He keeps chasing the cat. Hold on. Ian, what did I say? Said you won't listen. Period. Keeps chasing the cat. Sorry, folks. I have to keep my dog in line. He chases the cat. Alright. Men are not threatened at the fact that women want to work. If you don't want to raise kids, you don't want to be a wife, you don't want to be a homemaker, you don't want to stay at home, you're not threatening men. You're not bothering me, because your life is your life and you're not affecting me. We will find the woman that makes us happy. We will find a woman that will give us all the things we want. Just like women will find everything in a man. But logically speaking, they've done the studies. In just about every single marriage and relationship, you will only find 80% of what you want in your partner. Now, somebody went down the street in a video I saw not long ago, and he was asking ladies, if the man you were with was only providing you 80% of what you wanted in that relationship, would you be happy? And an overwhelmingly amount of women said no. They would feel that that was settling. Now, he flipped the roles. He asked the men, if the woman you were with provided only 80% of what you wanted in that relationship, would you be happy? And an astounding, overwhelmingly amount of men absolutely said, hell yes, I would be happy in that relationship. 80% is a lot. Because you can't expect, as a man, I know, the logic in me knows that I can never expect a woman to be perfect. There's always going to be a flaw in every person. I have flaws. I know I have flaws. I have probably a lot of flaws. So I can't expect any partner I ever find to be in a relationship with to be perfect. Just like I'm not perfect. Period.
Use the argument that women have an advantage now.
They do.
No person looking at the data
Okay.
can possibly say women have an advantage. We're just beginning.
Okay. Advantages. Okay. I'm so ready for this. I didn't have it pulled up, but we're going to find it. Advantages that women have that men don't. What are some, all right. Let's see what we find. We're going to look at all sorts of searches. Domestic abuse. I expect, wait, is this a, okay. I expect to get a lot of flack for this, but women have one incredible advantage over men that men don't have, while it's considered absolutely reprehensible for men to hit women. There's no such judgment reserved for women who hit men. Often female to male domestic abuse is even considered funny in society. I would agree. I don't think it's funny, but I agree that society doesn't treat male victims of domestic violence as they have any care or concern for the abuse that the man is going through. I mean, look. This guy went through and he showed clear, obvious scenarios where women are hitting men and nobody's doing anything to help. There was a study, not really a study, but a, what do you call that? Experiment, where the woman was on a park bench and the man was yelling at her and everybody came to her rescue. But later on, they've switched roles, where the man was on the bench looking sad, being yelled at and fake hit, but she was making it appear like she was hitting him, and nobody came to his rescue. Nobody cared what he was going through. The body and its function. I don't care about it. Alright, what else can we find? 17 advantages women have in this world as compared to men. Women are better at what? I don't know if I agree with that at all. Was this written by a female? Vinay? Sounds like it. Women have better old federal. Okay. This is not. This is a feminist. Okay. All right. This guy creates these drawings. He draws things out.
9 unfair advantages women have over men. Ladies first is one of the global slogans which we have.
Ladies first, all right? It's always, since the dawn of time, like, it's still to this day that if the ship goes down, women and children first. I'm all for being a gentleman, but I don't think there should be the situation that the men have to die. And women, yes, women should live, men should live, but I don't know. I think it's kind of, the children, yes, the women, yes, but I don't know. The point is, ladies first. Why should ladies go first if women want equal?
Though men always believed
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
their superiority and their physical fitness to do many things that women cannot do. This is sometimes right. The women are soft, vulnerable, and dependent. But at the same time, they can be very diplomatic. They believe they have veto power to get what they want when they want it. There are many places and situations where the girls or women can use their unfair advantage, be it their professional life, or market, or their own house. They can always enjoy the uncountable benefits. All a girl needs to know is how to play the game. In this video, we'll be sharing with you 9 unfair advantages women have over men. If you're new here, consider subscribing so that you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Number 1. No career pressure. Girls never have to worry about careers because they can.
Yeah, I would agree with this part, because the old saying reigns true. Women don't have to work, because a woman can always find a man to protect and provide for her in some ways. A woman doesn't have to work, especially attractive women. But they've done many surveys and they proved that a woman who is a 5 or a 4 has far more chances of finding a man, sex, or relationship above a man that is 10. They did this in a Tinder study, a match study. They've done it in a lot of different studies, proving that a woman that is mediocre is far more successful in dating and relationships and sex than a Chad or a Tyrone, period. They've proven it.
And always marry a rich guy and spend the rest of their life spending his money. Some women are really career oriented, but that is their own personal choice. No one will badmouth about a woman if she doesn't have a successful career, because
men don't care. Like, even if a woman is in a career, men don't care about a woman's success or finances, because we've surveyed so many women who have proven that that the woman's money is her money and the man's money is her money also. And most women do not want to spend their own money on the man. They want to spend it on themselves. So a woman's success and a woman's finances and a woman's career doesn't benefit us at all.
traditionally, the men have the responsibility of providing for the family. So it is not necessary for women to work hard. They never have to worry about the career and jobs. Working is their own personal choice. They earn with their own happiness. Nobody will bother if a woman doesn't earn, whereas the society will drive a man crazy if he doesn't have a successful career or if he doesn't earn much. You're far less likely to hear an unemployed woman called a loser than an unemployed man. Women are no longer discouraged from pursuing a professional career, but they still don't face the societal pressures to succeed like men do. Number 2. Women don't have to prove their genderhood. When it comes to men, the society expects them to act daring. And then there's this really famous thing which you often hear men saying to each other. Do this if you are a man. And then it always comes up to that pride and ego. But when it comes to women, there is no such thing. Women never have to prove themselves as girls or women. No matter what they say, what they do, what they think, they always remain a woman. And even if someone calls them a man, it's like a compliment. Ever heard the words, be a woman? Prove that you're a woman.
Yeah,
no.
be a fucking woman.
Right? Oh
Do a
yeah,
woman's
that's
job.
a major advantage a woman enjoys. She doesn't have to prove the womanhood thing ever.
She don't.
The burden surely lies on men because, after all, there's no instance when he doesn't have to hear, be a man. Number 3. Women can get anything by just being nice. There's a Greek saying that says, there is no such
many
thing
times
as
have you
free
heard a wo-
lunch.
Let me-
But for the women, there
How many times have you heard women say, he's just too nice? He's a good guy, but I just don't like him that way. Okay, but if a man cannot get whatever he wants by using his, what's the word? He can't use his vanity to benefit him like a woman can. That's the point of this. Number 3.
is always a free lunch if the woman knows how to manipulate the situation. The rules of the society for men are different from the rules for women. If men do something wrong, they have to pay for it. But women, well, they can easily come out of any mishaps by just sparking their innocent smile and saying the magic word, sorry. Even in all the punishments in the law court, women are...
Let's be honest. I don't think I've ever heard a woman say, I'm sorry, and meant it. Most of the time, they will dodge the apology completely and blame the man for everything that she did wrong rather than apologize. And women do not hold themselves accountable. And I think us as men need to work together to make women accountable for their bad decisions and bad choices just as much as they hold men accountable for our bad decisions.
Treated with more mercies than men. A woman can come out of any bad situation by only being nice. She has the advantage of being the innocent one always, like no matter what. It's unfair. Number 4. Men carry most of women's burden. Rarely is there a man who's so handsome or charming that women are willing to give him money and gifts or willing to solve his problems. But there isn't a woman alive that will be unable to find at least one potential male suitor willing to at least care for some of her needs. Whenever a girl goes out with a guy, the guy has to pay, and he always pays. This is one general rule, and if a guy does not implement it, then he's a complete jerk. A woman, as a young girl, spends her father's money. When she goes out and dates, she spends her boyfriend's money. And when she gets married, she spends her husband's money. And when her son starts earning, she starts spending his too. That's unfair. Really. Number 5. Dating world is surely woman's world. It is far easier for a woman to find a partner. Don't believe me? Look at any personal sites and compare men seeking women to women seeking men. Those efforts about planning and proposals and gifts aren't as such expected from them. It's all a man's task. They rule this dating world, and you still want to know the advantage of being a woman? They can get and seduce any man they want. Number 6. Women can wear men's clothing. How can we forget mentioning the most amazing advantage women enjoy over men? What is it about?
I don't think that's an advantage.
It's about the fashion
I
experiment.
think it's attractive when my girl wears my sweater.
Dressing up and accessorizing.
Sorry, I don't really see that as an advantage. I'm sorry, I really don't. Because men don't care to... that's kind of a stupid advantage to even list. That's almost like saying that we're sad we can't wear women's clothes. No, because we don't care to wear women's clothes. Okay, some men do. It's called trans men, or trans women, but they're not women. But anyways, I don't see this as an advantage for the simple fact that that's like saying we're sad we can't wear women's clothes. No. To be honest, any man in a relationship, when his girl wears his sweater or his shirt, whatever, I think that's attractive. I think that shows that she loves and admires and adores him. Now that's completely different to a woman just wearing men's clothes, but my purpose of responding to this number 6, is that I don't agree that that's an advantage. I think people wear stuff. I don't know. Sorry, I don't agree that this is an advantage at all. I just don't see it.
Men hardly have options, you know. Women can wear all kinds of men clothing. They can wear suits, they can wear dress pants, and can wear button-up shirts. They can wear loose long shirts, they can wear short.
I still don't.
But men, on the other hand, cannot wear short skirts. They cannot wear gowns. They cannot wear dresses. If they wear fitted clothes, people call them gay. But if a girl dresses up like swags, she's cool.
They shouldn't even have
Girls
listed
look
this.
cute with short hair.
That's not
But
even.
guys look creepy
so
and
stupid.
weird with long hair. Unfair, unfair. This is unfair.
It's not.
Number 7. For
We
women,
don't care.
no problem in crying. What happens
Yeah,
when a woman
crying.
cries?
I agree.
100 people.
I agree. Number 7, I agree. Number 6, I don't even see number 6 as an advantage. That's stupid. But on crying, I agree. So women say they want a man to show their emotions. They want men to be emotionally intelligent, they say. But in multiple cases, I have seen women say and tell me that they have seen their partner crying at a funeral. A fucking funeral. The man was caught crying by her, and she broke up with him immediately. Divorced her husband, lost all sexual interest for the man just because he was crying at a family funeral. That is stupid. You can't have this expectation that a man be emotionally intelligent and to be in touch with his emotions, and then when he cries, you lose sexual interest for the man. No. I do find it crazy how women... I always found that funny how a woman can cry on command. Like, the moment she's upset, she'll cry. Like, the moment she has any change in emotion, they can simply cry or fake cry, and it looks real as hell. But, yeah, I don't agree. I believe that men should have every right to share their emotions, but us in the red pill community, we do not want you to cry in front of your woman. Do not, under any circumstances, cry in front of your female. You need to talk to your boys about your problems. Talk to other men about what you're struggling with. Cry to other men. Now, some of your friends and other men will make fun of you, but it's better for you to be made fun of by your friends than to look like a punk and lose the woman you're with because you broke down in front of her. Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not cry or share your emotions with your woman. You need to stay masculine at all times. Now, some women will say that's not emotionally intelligent. That's not emotionally intelligent. You need to show your emotions. Sorry. If you want to risk losing your relationship, go ahead and test that theory. Now, are there some cases where you can do it once or twice and get away with it? Yes. But imagine coming home every day and bitching about your job, or complaining about the people at work, or crying about the problems that you have. You may get away with it once or twice, or even a bunch of times. But the more and more you do this, she will lose sexual attraction for you. So don't do it at all. It's just not worth the risk. Women cannot want the cake and eat it too. They can't have the cake and eat it too. It's just not logical to expect a man to show his emotions, and then when he does, you punish him for it by losing sexual attraction for him. But we can argue about that some other time. Agree or disagree? Comment below.
People console you. What happens when a man cries? 100 people laugh at him. Women can easily cry their heart out anywhere and anytime. Men, on the other hand, cannot. Women can easily freak out at any place by seeing a cat, dog, rat, or a cockroach. They can panic at the blow of wind and can faint if they feel a shadow behind them. Because they are women, they have every right to behave as stupid as they want to. Because we are men, we must not be silly, right? Number 8. People are far less likely to consider a woman a pervert.
Yep.
If you are friendly to children, no one's suspicious. If you innocent
I can't remember what comedian said this, but he was like, this is so true. I remember I saw, he showed a video of a woman walking up to a little boy and saying, "You're so adorable that when you get older, I'm gonna date you or marry you." I don't know. She was just, I know she was just being cute about it, but still, just saying it to a little child is by all definition a little pedophilish. Sorry. It doesn't matter if you're joking about it or not. It's a little pedophilish. So when he then flipped the role and he goes, imagine me walking up to a little girl and saying, "You're so attractive, and when you get older, I'm gonna..." Whatever. I can't remember exactly what was said, but you get the role reversal. The point is, if it's wrong for a man to do it to a little girl, then shouldn't it also be wrong for a grown woman to do it to a little child boy? I say yes, it's wrong. I don't care what the joke is. I don't care how harmless people think it is. If it's wrong for one gender to do something, it should be wrong for all genders to do something. It's not okay. It's not okay to punish a man for joking, even though, regardless of who's doing it, it's wrong. Even if they're joking, it's wrong. So if you're going to punish one gender for doing it, shouldn't you punish all genders for doing it? Period.
smile at someone of the opposite sex, they aren't likely to file harassment charges at you.
Exactly.
It is not socially acceptable for men to express emotion. At one time, a man could express anger. Now, even that is out of bounds.
Yep.
Women, by contrast, can express the full range of human emotion without fear of repercussion.
Isn't really a pervert.
Women might hug you in the middle of the road, laugh out like a crazy kid, cry anywhere, be angry, say words like baby and literally anywhere. Women are born with the right to express, you know. Men doing something like that may be considered out of his mind.
That's
Number 9. Women are always right. As women are considered to be the
I disagree. Women are not always right, but I know where he's going with this. But I'm not even going to continue. I'm not even going to give it space. Yes, in a relationship, women always have this expectation that men abide by everything they say is true. But that's not true, okay? It's not true. Women are not always right. Period. But, okay, these are some of the advantages that women have. But let's talk further in. Education and jobs, affirmative action. Women get priority in college admissions and jobs. Women get free drinks. Women use their vanity against men. Women manipulate men and don't get treated like shit in society for doing so. Women, 80% of all divorces are filed by women, and 90% of all alimony and child support goes from man to woman into a woman's pocket from a man's wallet. Now, what else? Women are... I'll take you out in a minute. Women are perceived as the victims always, even if they are the perpetrators of violence. Now, I've got to take my dog out to pee. He's ready to go outside. I think I've said my piece. I don't know how long this video is. We are an hour into it. Good Lord. I think I made my piece. Sorry, guys. This is a long video, but I needed to get this out. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment below. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you liked and what you didn't like. If you have any videos you want me to respond to, let me know. Dearden 2007 is my Facebook page. You can hit me up on my Discord server, Dearden 2007 # 8267. My Snapchat is Joshua Diaz. Hold on. I'll link it in the bio. And my Instagram is Dearden2013. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you stick around for the next video in the next couple of days.